What is going on, guys? Welcome to GregglesTV Daily Rewind, episode 31. This is where we go back and put all of my tech news stories from the past week into one single episode, and it's jam-packed with news. Galaxy S10 news. Note 10 having the biggest display ever on a phone. Want to see what a S10 case looks on a Galaxy S9? It's in there. We've got LG G8 news. We've got all kinds of tech news, not just relegated to Samsung, even though there's tons of Samsung news for the Galaxy S10, Note 10. There's tons of news, guys. So just stick with it and enjoy. Let's get into the news. As you know, today is Christmas Eve. Tomorrow is Christmas. Even if you want to follow the path of Santa Claus, you can with the Google Santa Tracker. Currently, at the time of me making this video, he's by Ukraine. He's supposed to hit California, where I am, in about 13 and a half hours. So if you have kids, family, friends, loved ones, whoever want to watch this, I'll put the link down below in the description and you can follow the path of Santa Claus. Next up, if you have a Samsung phone and you want to know when it's going to get Android Pie, they have released a roadmap. Now, I think most of my audience is interested in the S9, S9 Plus, Note 9, S8, S8, those phones. And you can see that it starts off with the S9 and S9 Plus in January of 2019. Note 9 looks like it's getting in February of 2019, a month later, and then you get in the S8 and Note 8 in March of 2019, and then from there you can see some lower grade Samsung phones and even some tablets towards the bottom. But yeah, it looks like a lot of phones will be getting the Android Pie Samsung One UI update. Also, since the Galaxy S9 beta has been pretty successful and trouble-free, it looks like they're releasing it in more countries, such as the ones below, as Germany, Switzerland, Italy, and the United Arab Emirates, UAE, and this should be available right now. All you gotta do is tap download updates manually option in the software update section of your Samsung Galaxy phone. And lastly, even though we're about, 9 months away before the Galaxy Note 10 is released, it looks like Samsung is upping the screen size on the Note 10 to better compete against the S10 and the iPhone Max. So the iPhone XS Max is about 6.5 inches, and the Galaxy S10 version is supposed to be, or S10 Plus version is supposed to be 6.44 inches, and then the 5G variant of the S10 is supposed to be 6.7 inches, and those are really big phones already, but they should feel fairly good and fairly familiar in your hand because it's more screen with less bezel, so the bodies should be about what you're used to currently with current phones. It looks like the Galaxy Note 10 is going to up the ante ever so slightly, but more than the Galaxy S10 5G version, up to 6.75 inches, a mammoth large phone. But again, it shouldn't feel too crazy in your hand in terms of compared to, if you compare it to maybe a Note 9, it's probably going to be very, very similar. At one point, they were at 6.66 inches for the new Galaxy Note 10, but when they thought of, hey, we don't want the S10 5G version to have a bigger screen than the Note 10, they decided to increase it to 6.75 inches, and I'm completely fine with that. I love big screened phones. They just feel, and it's just more immersive. It's almost, it's a more pleasurable experience. I think a lot of you probably feel exactly the same way. Go big or go home. You always want the best. You always want the biggest. And I think that's what the majority of people are going to end up getting anyway, is that bigger screen phone, have it be on the S10 or wait until the Note 10 comes out. Let's get into the news. The first story, but before we get to the first night, Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas, guys. Now let's get to the news. The first story of the day is about the Galaxy LTE Watch. There is a new update coming out that does some big improvements. And those big improvements that it offers, you can see, is improved Samsung Health experience, improved GPS accuracy and connection, improved battery efficiency, added dual clock watch face, and removed menu use gear without phone connection. Now this update looks like already hit Australia and New Zealand, and hopefully you'll be able to download it soon. All you do is just go into settings, about watch, update now, and then download updates manually. Next up, if you had the Android Pie beta installed on your Galaxy phone, they changed the name of the selfie focus feature now to Live Focus. So if you're looking for it, it's called Live Focus. Not a huge change, but just a more of a FYI for you guys that if you're looking for it, it's now called live focus. So what that is, it's like the bokeh effect. You take a photo of yourself and it kind of blurs the background. I'll put my hand back. I don't know, hopefully you can see it. Probably can't, but it kind of blurs the background, but it also blurs your hair. It's not that great. Hopefully they fix it with the Galaxy S10. And the last two stories are about the Galaxy S10 Plus and 5G. And it shows off, the first one showing off the glass of what to expect with the Galaxy S10 Plus. So if you wanted to trace it, that's based off what Ice Universe is saying. This is exactly what it's going to look like. But just by looking at a few of the things you can notice is the very, very small bezels at the top and at the bottom. The bottom one has a slightly bigger bezel than the top. Also at the top, you see the cutout for the headphone where you'd listen to where the sound would come out, and it would also probably be the dual speaker sound at the top there. And then you see the double cutout for the dual cameras in the top right of the Galaxy S10 Plus. Now this should look pretty much identical, albeit maybe a little bit bigger on the 5G version of it, but you should still have the same cutouts and the speaker at the top and the same size bezels, I would assume, on the 5G version of the Galaxy S10. The other big thing is, this is also put up by Ice Universe. It says the Galaxy S10 and S10 Plus have some special effects around the hole, meaning the front camera hole. This has been adopted on the Galaxy 8AS. It will glow when the camera is turned on and will also glow when the face is recognized, meaning when it recognizes your face on that camera, it'll glow up. And then maybe some other scenes as well. And if you look at this is like how it will do on the top left. You can see it glows up a little bit in the top left, just to kind of give an indication. I feel like it's more of a safety security feature. So if someone was spying on you through the camera, it would probably light up. And then here is another, just a little bit of a close-up, it glowing up on that camera. Let's get into the news. The first story of the day is, do you want to know what the top 6 selling electronic products were on Amazon this holiday season? Well, let's talk about it. And in no particular order, first is the Bose Comfort 35 Series 2 wireless headphones. I have these headphones. They are awesome. They're very comfortable. You can wear them for really long periods of time and still they don't hurt your ears or anything like that. And that's really important to me. Also, they sound really nice. They're good bass, good, just overall really good sounding headphones. So if you buy these, you will not be disappointed. The next on our list is the Samsung 8000 series 65-inch 4K TV, the 2018 edition for $1197. I have probably the 2016 edition or 2017 edition, and I love it. Definitely a great TV. I can only imagine this one's probably even better than mine. And again, great TV. The 8000 series Samsung's 4K TVs are awesome. Then we have the iPad, which is their latest 9.7-inch tablet. So it doesn't have the 120 hertz display, but you're still getting a A10 chip, which is a few generations back, but should still perform really, really nicely. Touch ID, good speakers, 10 hours of battery life, and a really low price at under $300. I have seen this for as low as $250. So if you want to wait it out, you can probably get it for even cheaper. But the iPad, one of the top selling holiday gifts. Then we have the Wemo Smart Mini Plug, and I've recommended this in the past. I have one, or I have two actually at my house right now, and they work great. No issues with these. You can set up schedules. You can manually control them with your phone or with Google Assistant or Amazon Alexa. So if you want to make something smart, such as a light or a fan or something like that, you can do that with this plug. We then have the Blue Yeti USB microphone, which I also have. I bought this years ago, though. I probably bought it when I first started doing YouTube, and I barely use it, but it's a good microphone. Hooks up via USB to your computer. And if you want to be able to do some professional sounding overdubs or music or whatever, maybe you have a YouTube channel, look at getting into this microphone. And then lastly, we have probably my favorite product on this list is the Wise Cam. $25. It's really $20 and they charge shipping, but it says 26 on here. But regardless, $26 security camera, 1080p, updates all the time, tons of software features, free cloud storage, can accept a micro SD if you want 24/7 video recording. An absolute awesome security camera. And then our last story of the day is about the iPad Mini 5, which will be released probably middle of 2019. And a case was leaked for this tablet, and it shows quite a bit of information about the tablet if you're interested in it. First of all, you can see on the back, you get the vertical camera along with the microphone in the middle. You also have a flash on the back of there. And then at the top and bottom, it hints at 4 speakers on this, which would be really cool. That would match some of the newer iPads, bigger ones that have been released currently. So 4 speakers would probably give you massive sound on this. You're also looking at probably at a 7.9-inch display. There's a cutout on the side, which could mean the iPad mini will get a smart connector to support a smart keyboard, much like the iPad Pro. Also, what you can see from the case is that you'd get a headphone jack as well. Now this iPad mini, once it does come out, it's probably not gonna have like a crazy 120 hertz display. I would assume it would have a lower, probably just regular 60 hertz display, so you won't get that smooth motion like you do on the iPad Pros, but still, looking like a kind of beastly tablet. It's probably gonna be priced very competitively and is great for kids. Let's get into the news. The first story of the day is about the Pixel 3 Lite and the Pixel 3 XL Lite. Now these are going to be lesser versions of the 3 and 3 XL, but they'll also be less money, but you're still getting the same camera experience. So the latest news and rumors about this is that Google will launch the Pixel 3 and 3 XL Lite on Verizon in spring of 2019. So you're looking at just a little bit more time into 2019, you know, 4 or 5 months before you'll actually see these phones out there. As for specs, we've talked about it in the past. We've heard Snapdragon 670 or 710, 4 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of storage, a headphone jack, which is missing from the current Pixel 3 and 3 XL, 12 megapixel rear and 8 megapixel front cameras, which matches what we get now with the Pixel 3 and 3 XL. The smaller phone will have a 5.5-inch screen, while the larger XL will have a 6-inch display. Next up, if you want to see a Galaxy Note 7 and then put a Galaxy S10 Plus screen protector on it just to see what the screen displays are 3 years ago versus basically today, it's such a dramatic change. You definitely have to check this out. And looking at this, you can totally tell it basically fits almost to a T of the Galaxy Note 7 screen, albeit, you know, obviously you're getting more display, you're getting the camera sensors in the top right, you're not getting have to have a bezel, or at least a big bezel at the bottom. You just notice how small the bezels are on the S10 Plus versus the Note 7. It's pretty dramatic and crazy if you think about that. So Note 7, Note 8, Note 9, so 3 years later, 2-3 years later, the Note 10, or S10 Plus I should say, it's just the technology has improved so much. And the last story of the day comes from Ice Universe. His tweet right here says, I got a real Galaxy S10 Plus case, and when I put it on my S9 Plus, this is what it looks like. And obviously the cameras are going to be horizontal rather than vertical like they are on the S9 Plus. So, and then the fingerprint sensor is going to be on the display of the S10 Plus. That's another reason, you know, you're not going to see a cutout for the fingerprint sensor, but it's just big dramatic changes the last few years on the Galaxy phones, especially with the S10 Plus line coming out very, very soon. Let's get into the news. The first story of the day is about the Essential phone. And if you remember about the Essential phone, it was like the first phone with no notch, but had like a little teardrop for a camera on the front and basically all screen after that. Now the phone never really sold really well. It sold like, I don't know, like 5,000 in its first couple months or month or something like that. It was really, really crazy and had such high hopes because Andy Rubin was behind this phone, who was the founder of Android and you know, a bigwig at Google. And again, the phone just never sold, and they put it on fire sale, which means, you know, really, really low prices. And it generally had good specs. It had a Snapdragon 835, 4 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, a cool little design, and they put out multiple updates to improve the phone over time. And now we have an official statement about the Essential phone. And the full statement provided to Android Police by Essential spokesperson is, we are sold out of the Essential phone on essential.com and won't be adding any new inventory. We are now hard at work on our next mobile product and will continue to sell accessories and provide speedy software updates and customer support to our existing community. Now you would have to guess that they're going to release another phone. They don't say a phone, they just say a mobile product. I can't imagine it's going to be a watch or a tablet. Those just don't really sell that well comparatively to phones, and so it's got to be a phone. Hopefully it's a phone. You know, maybe they learn from their mistakes on the Essential phone the first time. When I tried the Essential phone, the screen was a little bit too dark for me. Camera wasn't that impressive. Software was buggy. A lot of that stuff got fixed through software updates, maybe not to the par of a Google phone or a Samsung phone or an Apple phone, but still improvements were made. So we'll see what happens, but the Essential phone, the original one, is completely gone. Next up, LG's next flagship phone, the LG G8, has some rumors popping out about it. Now, what the report says is that the LG G8 features a teardrop notch, which is very similar to what you get with the Essential phone and the OnePlus 6T phone. Also, will have a 3D camera system. Who knows what they mean by that? I don't know if they mean just on the front it'll have like facial recognition or depth sensing, and it will be able to do something cool on the front and the back cameras. Also, there will be no 5G networking. It'll only have LTE. Now, not having 5G, not a huge deal, because a lot of the 5G networks aren't even completely expanded out throughout the country or the world for that matter. So you're probably not going to miss a lot, at least if you're only going to keep this phone for a year or two. Other than that, you're probably looking at spec-wise, it'll probably have a Snapdragon 855. It'll probably have 6 or 8 gigabytes of RAM. I assume 128 gigabytes of storage at this point. We should know, or maybe know something at CES, definitely by MWC. You're looking at this phone probably coming out by February or March of 2019 would be my guess. And the last story of the day comes from Sam Mobile about Galaxy S9, the Android Pie version update that has come out, also known as the Samsung One UI, and I believe it's on its final update at this point. So after this, it'll be the real version of the software that comes out, and they have a battery drain issue going on. And this is the quote: "Battery life has been better on Pi than Oreo in general, but I just saw my S9 Plus go down from 10% to 5% in a matter of seconds without the phone reporting any app going haywire in the background. No random reboots, but Samsung may have a battery drain issue on hand." He also reported that some other people in the forums and in their comment section have also had the same issue. I am not on the final running software of my Pi beta software with my Galaxy Note 9, but battery life has been very similar, I feel like anyway at this point, to what I've had on Android Oreo with my Galaxy S9. I just got my third update last night, and I did a video on it and some of the things that it fixed. So if you haven't seen that video, make sure you check that one out. But other than that, again, he's on the fourth version, I'm on the third, so I haven't had any issues. Maybe, hopefully they'll have that fixed if there is a battery drain issue overall. They've been really quick about pushing out updates. It's basically every 2 weeks or so that they've pushed out an update, at least for the Galaxy Note 9, and I think the S9 has been even as fast or even faster at that point. Let's get into the news. The first story of the day is if you're an iPhone user and you want to sign up for Netflix through your iPhone, you no longer can. Netflix has removed that ability, and they've done it to get out of having to pay Apple 30% of the subscription for the first year and then 15% of the subscription thereafter. It makes total sense. I don't even know why they hadn't done this even before. I guess it's easier to do the billing through iTunes if you're an iPhone customer, and that way it's kind of like not thinking, and it helps Netflix out also. But again, if you're a new customer trying to sign up with your iPhone to Netflix, you no longer can. Now, if you already pay through the iPhone payment system for your Netflix subscription, you still can continue to do that until your subscription is completely over. So no worries, it's not going to end anytime soon, but new customers cannot sign up. So there you go. And our last story of the day is if you want a 1 terabyte Galaxy Note 9 and you have currently the 512 gigabyte version, you can currently pick up only today only, so you have hours left, you can pick up the 512 gigabyte micro SD card by PNY for only $240. It's $110 savings today only, and you could have your mythical 1 terabyte Galaxy Note 9, but have it in hand. You could be the first 1 terabyte phone in the world. Obviously, if you have this 1 terabyte phone, there's rumors of the Galaxy S10 having a 1 terabyte version just without an SD card, just plain old 1 terabyte, but you could get that right now with the micro SD card on your Galaxy Note 9. And obviously this will work with the S10, most likely the Note 10, and here on and there on after, because I don't see Samsung getting away from the micro SD card scene in terms of adding it to their phones. They removed it, if I remember correctly, from the Note 5, and there was a bit of an uproar, and plus that only had 32 gigabytes of storage, and then they added it back on the phones from that year on after, and they had it before as well. So get your 512 gigabyte micro SD card for complete overkill now. Let's get into the news. The first story of the day is a big sale that's going on right now with the Nvidia Shield on Amazon. I'll link it down below if you want to pick it up, but it's $30 off and it's dropping it to its lowest price of $149.99 or something like that. Anyways, it's $149 more or less. And it looks like, at least from me, I can get 5% off of that, dropping it down to about $147. So if you want to get an Nvidia Shield, pick one up definitely like today. I don't know if it's even gonna last till tomorrow, but definitely today at the very least. It's a 4K media box that allows you to play video games, that allows you to watch any media type, whatever you want, have it be Netflix or Hulu, or maybe you want to stream something from USB or whatever you want to do on this, you can do it. It's an amazing box. I've been talking about it for years, guys. It is seriously the best media box that you can pick up for, you know, anything. It's better than, I feel like, it's better than the Apple TV, it's better than Roku, it's better than the Fire TV. Honestly, it's better than anything I've ever used. It can do anything pretty much that you would want to do in a media box. And again, it's on sale right now, year-end sale at that. And the last story of the day is if you use Android messages like myself to do your text messaging on your Android phone, and it's a free app, why wouldn't you use it? Google makes this app. They are pushing out spam protection, and it's rolling out to Android message users right now. So if you get it, or if you have it anyway, it's gonna say new spam protection to help protect against spam. Some data about your messages, but not any content is sent to Google. I'm assuming probably like the phone number or something like that. And you can hit okay, and you can also manage it in the settings. And when you manage it in the settings, it's gonna be, this will be the screen, you click advanced, and then you'll see spam protection. And then within here it says detect spam, some info about your messages is sent to Google without including the actual content of your phone number. So you can turn it on or off if you want, but again, it's gonna contain some info about your messages. So there you guys go. That is your news for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. New videos every single day. My question out to you guys is, what do you use for your text messaging app? Do you use Android messages? That's what I use. I've been using it over a year. I want to say 2 years now. Maybe I haven't been using it for 2 years, but I always make it my default text messaging app no matter what phone I use. That would be Samsung phones, OnePlus phones, whatever phone it is, I always change it to Android messages. Let me know what you guys use. Thanks for watching. We'll see you down the road. Peace!